Today's episode, we've got a breakup via Reddit, a best friend who got someone blacklisted, a dying mom caught in the middle of a Europe trip, and the kind of girl best friend drama that'll make you clench your jaw. Trust me, you're gonna wanna have opinions, so grab a snack, get comfy, and let's talk about it, because you're not ready for the mess that's coming. Welcome to With Love, Lola. Let's get into it. Am I wrong for breaking up with my girlfriend via Reddit? I made this Reddit account to address you. I won't put your name out there, but I know you regularly read posts like these since you used to bring them up and listen to the podcast with them. I'm sure you'll know it's about you when reading it. I, 29 male, caught my girlfriend, 31 female, cheating on me. This time, I have undeniable proof after she lied to my face about it. We've been friends for 5 years and started dating 3 years ago. I loved this woman with everything I had. I truly thought she felt the same. A few months ago, we hit a rough patch and argued a lot. I really thought we were going to break up. I hit rock bottom. I was severely depressed. One Saturday, we had plans to attend a wedding together. You live a fair distance away and neither of us had a car, but we didn't mind taking the extra steps to make it work. That morning, I asked what time you'd be coming over so we can get ready and head out. I even offered to pay for your Uber. You said, okay. Hours went by. I didn't hear from you, and I started spiraling. I had a panic attack. I checked your location and it wasn't your house. It was some random parking lot. I messaged you. No reply. After a while, your location just turned off. I was worried sick. I kept calling. No answer for 6 hours. I was panicking. Then at 9:30 p.m., note this time, you finally picked up. Your first words were, "Are you okay?" And I just broke down crying asking, "Are we okay?" You told me your phone died and that you were just out with your friends from school, and I believed you. You'd never lied to me before, or so I thought. The next day, I couldn't get out of bed. Depression hit me like a truck. You came over to comfort me, but something felt off. I tried to shake it off thinking maybe it was just in my head. That morning, I placed your Apple Watch on the charger. That's when I saw the messages from you to your friend from school that you hung out with the day of the wedding. One said, he was growling in my ear. Another said, I had to cover up my hickeys like I was in school. Stop. Sent around 9:30, the exact time I was crying to you on the phone. When you got out of the bathroom, I saw the marks on your neck. When I asked, you said they were from scratching it. On our way to work, I brought up the messages. You said you were lying to your friend, that you made it all up. I didn't believe you, but I swallowed it, and I swept it under the rug. Today I was at your house as your family had a birthday party for you. Your family was there, some of your friends and our mutual friends were there too, including the ones that celebrated you cheating and lying. The house was packed. I drank quite a lot because I knew I wasn't going to have the courage to do what I did. I went to your room to lie down in your bed, saying I didn't feel well. After some time, I told you I was going home and ordered an Uber. I'm in the Uber now typing this up along with the iPad I gave you. While lying in your bed, I found it, and on it, I didn't just find proof of you cheating. I found everything. The day you turned your location off, you were with the guy you play Call of Duty with. I'm mad at myself for not catching how often you played with him and how you'd laugh at his jokes. I saw the messages, how you talked for months, and how you planned a hotel meetup the day after he picked you up from work. How you kissed him in the car, how you told him we broke up. You was sending a pic of the hickeys he gave you, and guess what? Those messages sent at 9:45 p.m. The same time I was breaking down on the phone and you were telling me everything was okay. How inconsiderate could you fucking be hearing someone you claimed you love cry on the phone, all while they were texting your school friend and him about your infidelity? Speaking of the school friend, I saw conversations celebrating your decision to cheat and laughing about how you got away with it, gassing each other up for lying to me. And there was more shit I found. I found flirty messages with multiple Uber drivers. I found out the ring you said was from your late grandmother was actually from your ex-boyfriend. You wore our entire relationship. I found messages to him too, telling him you were single, that you will always love him. I saw more messages with your Call of Duty duo with him saying very sexual things and you saying how nice that sounded. That was the same day I surprised you by coming over to your house for Thanksgiving. I found you sending sexy selfies to multiple men. Some of those pictures were from outings that we were out together. All of this shit, and yet you talked about marrying me? You're a piece of shit. Normally, I'm not a petty person, but it. By the time I press post, I will have already sent screenshots of everything to your friends, the one who would be ashamed of you, to your family, the ones who will disown you, to your Call of Duty buddies who knew nothing about your double life, to my family, to our friend group, and to the shitty school friends who knew everything, smiled at my face at the party, and is still there thinking everything is great. Every person who ever believed in us will know the truth. I've never been more disappointed in anyone in my entire life. You made this bed, now lie in it. So, am I the asshole for exposing my no good cheating ass girlfriend and breaking up with her via Reddit? Before I even speak on this, guys, I have never been more happy in my life to see an update link right there. Thank you all for the overwhelming support and kind messages after my last post. If anyone's wondering, yes, I'm doing okay. Something just clicked while I was going through those messages for the first time. I truly realized I'm worthy of love and that the first person who needs to give that love to me is me. Out of all the options I had in that moment, the one I chose felt like the smartest. If I'd confronted her in private, she could have manipulated the narrative or gaslit me into doubting what I saw. If I had gone downstairs and made a scene, I would have been surrounded by her family and friends, which would have turned into a screaming match where I'm outnumbered. So I removed myself from the situation and let the truth unravel on its own, which I think is probably the best decision you could have made. Just to clear a few things up, we both had our locations shared on the iPhone. I wasn't stalking her. The sexy photos weren't nudes. And even still, I didn't send those pictures out, only the text conversations between her and the guy she was messaging. Sending those to people is wrong on another level, and I would never stoop that low. After I left, I took an Uber home, grabbed a few things, and went to stay at my friend's place for the night. I felt okay, but I thought that's just the adrenaline, and I'm going to crash hard. I've already signed up for therapy, scheduled an STI test, and I'm planning on taking boxing, pottery classes just to keep myself active and focused. While I was staying over, one of her Call of Duty friends messaged me. Turns out the guy she slept with has a wife and kid. I'm not sure how that situation is unfolding, but I hope his wife finds out. That friend also told me she's been removed from their squad. Our mutual friend group has shown a lot of support. One of them even removed her as a bridesmaid from their upcoming wedding and blocked her entirely. I thought everything had finally calmed down until I came back home this morning. I had already blocked her on everything, so there was no way for her to reach me. Instead, she showed up. She drove her parents' car to my house and sat outside until she saw me. As I walked to my door, she came out crying, hysterical. A messy mix of sadness and rage. I didn't say a word, just walked inside and closed the door, while she yelled from the other side until she eventually left. Nothing was mentioned about the Reddit post, so I guess she didn't see it. Later that day, her brother called me. He apologized on behalf of the family. He said everything seemed normal after I left until their mom checked her phone. She pulled my ex aside, trying to keep things quiet, but then her aunt, the one who talks a lot, shouted, "You're cheating on your boyfriend?" in front of everyone, and that blew the lid off. According to him, their family has a history with infidelity and it caused serious pain in the past. So this incident not only reopened old wounds, but more cheating scandals within the family were exposed that same night. The party was supposed to be a reconciliation moment for relatives who hadn't seen each other in years. And the friend who celebrated the cheating with her, she got cussed out so badly by the family that she left in tears. Her brother told me he doesn't blame me for anything. He even said I handled it better than most would have, and he's here if I need anything. Honestly, the only thing I feel bad about is unintentionally ripping apart a family that was trying to move forward. I had no idea all of that was going on behind the scenes, and I do feel like an asshole for being the grenade that set it all off. You were not the grenade, okay? She was the grenade. You just pulled the pin, right? She put the bomb there. You can't be mad at yourself for doing it, but it just shows the kind of person you are. Made me so sad reading this. Breaks my heart that people can be so cruel to someone who you claim you love and put them through that kind of pain. I just don't understand what goes through what goes through your mind. Like, for people who have cheated, like, I think it has to be like a mental high that you get off of, like, oh my God, I'm cheating on this person and I get away with it. I feel like that's what has to keep them doing it, because I don't know. Props to the brother. I appreciate that he reached out to you. That's actually really kind and sweet. And it's like one of the first and only cheating posts I've ever read where the cheater's family acts the way they're supposed to and be like sympathetic and be like, I'm sorry, my sister did you dirty. Gosh, it's so rare to see accountability from like the cheater side for once. Am I wrong for telling my friend she was getting fired and that I saved her job, which led to her getting super fired? I work with my best friend's girlfriend. Her and I are friendly, but not really friends. If it weren't for her relationship with Jeremy, I would not be friends with her at all. I told her about the job in question and even put in a good word for her. She wasn't working out. She tried her best, but she had a personality clash with her supervisor. She was still in the 90-day probation period, so she was going to be terminated with no notice. That's life, really. We regularly hire a bunch of people and keep the good ones and dismiss the ones that can't cut it or aren't a good fit. We actually were getting rid of over a dozen people that day. I know that her and Jeremy aren't doing well financially, so I stepped in and volunteered to take her on my team. It was a lateral move for her. I didn't really need her, but my boss gave me a lot of freedom in my department. I didn't want to freak her out, so I never told her she was not working out well on her team. To say the least, I can understand why she didn't work out. She is great at her job and a hard worker, but God almighty, she has a terrible job site personality. She rubs everyone the wrong way, including my supervisor. He actually questioned my decision to transfer her to my team. I couldn't protect her from herself. Originally, she was just being terminated and that was it. She would have been free to reapply to the company. Now she's on the NERF list, not eligible for rehire. She really thought the reason I got her on my team was because we needed her help. She alienated herself. She alienated everyone. Again, she is good at the job and incredibly dedicated. She's just a shitty person to work with and she brings down team morale. I told Jeremy what happened and he said he understood, but she is pissed. She said that if I told her she was on the chopping block, she would have behaved differently. She said it's kind of my fault for not warning her. I don't know. I feel really bad for her, but she's kind of dug her own grave. When it comes to helping out friends and family with jobs and things like that, you do your best to get their foot in the door. After that, it's like, don't ever associate me with anything, because she says that, but I guarantee you, if you had told her and things blew out of proportion like it did now, she would have thrown your name under the bus so quickly, and then you would have been jeopardized. Your job would have been jeopardized. You got to stay quiet and stay out of it, especially like if it's like a close friend who you know will take it the right way, like, yo, dude, you're messing up, like they're kind of mad at you. Then I'll be like, okay, shoot, I gotta fix it. But it's like your best friend's girlfriend. It's like I would kind of stay away. And working with bad people suck. I have worked with bad people before and I've wanted to quit so bad, and I have quit before because it's happened to me. And I've had, not thankfully, they were bad managers, not bad coworkers, and that's even worse in my opinion. I always tell people this: you can teach a job to anyone, but what a lot of companies look for is that, are you a good person to work with? Are you a good person to work for? Can you take directions well? How do you handle conflict? And obviously she don't know what she's doing in that aspect. I don't like that she's saying it's your fault for not warning her. That's like kind of saying, if I knew hurting others would hurt me, then I wouldn't have hurt others. You must be the real problem here. You know you have a bad personality. You can't say you don't. Please. You know you have, like, I know I mean sometimes. I own it. You can't be like, what? I mean? What? How? When? Give me an example. Am I wrong for refusing to help my boyfriend's dying mother while planning a trip to Europe? I, 25 female, live with my boyfriend Liam, 24 male. About a month ago, his mom Tanya began claiming she's dying of cancer, but no diagnosis has been confirmed. Every hospital visit ends with her being sent home. A nurse even told Liam she might be faking. It started when she stayed one night at a one-bedroom apartment. That turned into a week of chaos. She refused AC and fans, said they hurt her skin, but blow-dried her hair daily. The apartment smelled awful. Everything had to be dark and silent, and she constantly demanded help. She even stormed into our bedroom at 3 a.m. asking Liam for massages. We sleep naked, so that was awkward. She criticized our Buddhist souvenirs, insisted we hang a cross. I did, and complained nonstop. She suggested we move in with her. It's an hour away from our jobs and school. I'm a full-time student with 2 jobs and a 4.0 GPA, and I was falling behind. Liam, who works full-time, switched to remote work. His boss hated this to care for his mom. Her health updates were always shifting. MRI, canceled surgery, then chemo postponed due to infection, then E. coli, always a new reason. No clear diagnosis or paperwork. When her husband David, who funds her lifestyle, was away, she made us go to her house to get her jewelry because she thinks he'll steal it when she dies. He's an alcoholic, according to her. We were supposed to take her to the ER right after, but we ended up staying 16 hours doing chores. I folded 420 pieces of clothing items, cleaned the whole house, and felt like her unpaid maid. Not a single please or thank you. She was stalling to go to the ER, and when we finally got there at 5 a.m., she said she checked herself in and sent us home. 3 hours later, she called again, sobbing for help. She said she had been rejected by the ER. I suspect she faked it. Liam and I have both been skipping meals, losing sleep and falling behind at work to help her. He once said he's waiting for her to pass away so we can move to Europe. He's been forced to manage her divorce, lawyer meetings, and funeral prep. Meanwhile, David, who's paying the hospital bills and has been kept in the dark about all of this, sent Liam an aggressive text like, "I call bullshit," and "don't show up at my house no more," then later apologized. Tanya called again begging for help, but this time she wanted me because David is jealous of Liam. I had clearly told Liam I needed that weekend to study for final exams, and going to that house alone seemed sketchy. Now, I'm planning a 2 to 3 week Europe trip to see my mom, whom I haven't seen in over a year. Liam says he supports it, but called it a little selfish. He asked, "If I were dying, would you quit your job to be with me? And if it were your mom, would you help her?" I felt pressure to say yes, but truth is, my family wouldn't lie to me or use me like this. I love Liam and I want to be there for him, but I don't trust his mom, and this is starting to affect our relationship. Am I the asshole for refusing to help Tanya and going home to Europe? Based on what you've said, right? I'm pretty confident that she's not sick. Therefore, I don't think you are the asshole. All this was true, but I'm very susceptible that it's not. Then I'm like, yeah, you kind of got to stay with him. You guys need to have an intervention with this lady, especially your boyfriend, and he needs to be like, yo, her, him, oncologist, you, whoever, discuss her treatments and next steps and what exactly she has. What is the normal progression when treating this disease? In and out of the ER is not really normal when it comes to cancer. Have you been with her with chemo? He needs to sit with her oncologist and be like, hey, I need to know what's going on with my mom. And if she won't let him in the room to discuss, then he knows that something is up and he needs to be like, okay, maybe it's not cancer, maybe it's bipolar. My boyfriend has a girl best friend. If you've been listening to me for however long I've been doing this, you guys know exactly how I feel about this. Those two things do not correlate. You have a boyfriend, you do not have a guy best friend, you have a girlfriend, you do not have a girl best friend. But let's see what's going on and what relationship was ruined because of it. So my boyfriend has a girl best friend. I'm not entirely sure if she's lesbian or bisexual, but I know she has a girlfriend. Okay, maybe I was a little wrong, but let's see. My boyfriend once admitted to me that he had feelings for his best friend before, which already made me feel uncomfortable. Even if they don't hang out as often anymore, that fact stayed in my mind. Okay, why are you telling her you had feelings for this person regardless of them being lesbian or not? You're not gonna want your significant other to hang out with them. It's like, you like them. One time I opened his account and saw a message from his best friend's girlfriend asking him if they were drinking and hanging out. She even sent a screenshot of a Facebook Live video where they were together and I had no idea about. I ended up replying to the girlfriend myself asking where they were drinking. She was shocked that I was the one replying, but still told me where they were. I watched the live and saw the girl best friend literally pulling my boyfriend close, teasing him, calling him love, and saying things like, "Don't you love me anymore?" And "You're scared of your girlfriend, huh?" That made my blood boil. I messaged him right away and told him that we're done. The next day he came to my house and explained everything. He told me he was willing to cut off the friendship for the sake of my peace of mind. I decided to forgive him. See, I don't like that right there, but you should do it because, hey, that friend crossed the line and I don't want my girlfriend to ever be disrespected. Not because for your peace of mind. It's like, no, that person did something wrong. Fast forward weeks later, he admitted that he talked to her again this time to ask if she could apologize to me. I was upset again and told him that she can say sorry if she wants, but I won't accept it. He agreed and again promised he wouldn't talk to her anymore. Then, just recently, he told me he was going to a birthday party of a workmate and assured me it was all guys. Later during the party, he messaged that he transferred to another group because his girl best friend showed up. I let it slide because he said he moved away from her. Then, on his way home, he told me he ran into his coach and was invited to drink again at the same party. But again, he assured me he stayed away from where his best friend was. But I had this uneasy feeling, so I checked his account again and I saw his coworkers messaging him things like, "Tell her to go home already. Look at the time. Did you make it home? She's super drunk." That was the last straw. I don't think I deserve to keep fighting for someone who keeps putting me in situations where I have to question my worth or feel like a second option. I've done enough. I agree. You set a boundary. You gave him a chance. He failed. Get out of here, on to the next. Okay, I'm going to read this top comment. So my husband has a girl best friend, has his entire life. At different points, they had crushes on each other, but never acted on it. She and I became really good friends when we started dating and remain so to this day. They never gave me a reason not to trust them. We do have an agreement with her that she can talk to either of us and we won't share that information with each other. This is not unique to her. We do this with all of our friends. The point is, I've never seen them flirt with each other. Her partners have never made any comments about it either. And at this point of our life, I can't even think about the last time they hung out alone together. To be fair, she's engaged to one of his best friends since high school. We all went to school together. The main point I'm trying to make is that he shouldn't be doing anything that would make you uncomfortable regardless of how she behaves. He should be setting and maintaining firm boundaries whether they are alone or public. This is on him entirely. There is a difference between having a girl best friend and having a long-term situationship with the girl. It wouldn't be a big deal that he had feelings for her at one point if it weren't completely obvious to everyone that he doesn't anymore. Yes, very worded welly. Very well worded. My girlfriend put her hands on me in public last night. How do I move forward? My girlfriend and I have been going out for just over 3 years now. It's been happy for the most part, but as of the last year, we've had more and more fights. Last night, we went to meet 2 new friends for drinks at a bar, and we had a really good time. The 4 of us were talking and shooting the shit, and I'm grabbing my second drink when my girlfriend decided she wanted to go say hi to our mutual friend we ran into with her cousin and some other guy. I watch her go over and sit at their table. Me and my friends are chilling. She's looking like she's having a riot, so all's well. Around 9 p.m. or so, my friends mentioned that some music friends are putting on the second set of their ambient instrumental show in a building 10 minutes away. I gathered my girlfriend, who's pretty drunk at that point. The guy at the table was buying her shots and drinks. We head over. The ambient instrumental set was really beautiful and introspective. Everyone was laying down or sitting on mats. It was a really great way to be capping off the night. With maybe 5 to 10 minutes left in the set, my girlfriend starts nudging me and prodding me, then poking me in my ribs with her fingers. After digging in a couple more times with some real force, I turned to her and asked her why she was doing that. She tells me this is boring and she wants to go. I tell her that there's maybe maximum of 5 or 10 minutes left of music and it's pin drop silent. She's pretty loud in my ear and tells me this is really dumb. Who gives a fuck about this? And that it's time to wrap it up. I'm sure some of the other people overheard. When I try to answer her, she goes, "Don't want to hear it, okay? We're leaving." She's clearly agitated when I again reassure her that as soon as it's over, which will be soon, we'll go home. After a minute or so of sitting, she starts grabbing and pinching my calf. Every time she's doing it, it's harder and harder. It got to a point I had to put my fist in my mouth to not make a sound. I eventually had to whip around and told her to cut it out because it hurts. She puts on the same drunk airs as earlier about the whole thing being dumb as fuck. It was embarrassing. The show ends and we get out, say goodbye to our friends, and begin heading home. The whole way she's yelling at me, being combative, walking away from me, telling me I don't care about her, etc. She screams at me saying she deserves better, that I'm not a real man, that she doesn't need me. We have a whole fight the whole way home. I tried to explain that physically hurting me isn't the answer to get what she wants and she could use her words. She goes off and says, "Oh, so I'm an abuser. You're calling me an abuser now." I tell her that isn't at all what I said, and I'm only trying to talk about the situation. She asked me to show her my bruises or evidence. She starts asking me to say something, why am I being like this, etc. She tries packing my clothes and things and says that I clearly don't want to be with her anymore. I tell her that's not it and I want to talk about this when we feel like we can and not in the heat of it. She tries to go to sleep on the couch, but I have to take her back to bed. It's 1 a.m. at this point, and after all of that, I'm exhausted and have to be at work at 7 a.m. During work today, she calls me and says she's sorry about yesterday. She didn't mean to put hands on me or hurt me, that she drank too much and doesn't even really remember a majority of the evening or what she said. She wanted me to pick her up after she's off at work at 9 to talk more, but I told her I needed some space right now since I work early tomorrow morning too. I don't really know what I should do, but my parents being immigrants, I grew up in a household which was like that, gaslighty, hostile, and demeaning. I worry about that behavior because it's not about me. It's about if we stay together and we have kids and that behavior becomes what they experience. I just need advice about this and how to handle moving forward. Okay, he does have a small update. He says, to clarify, she doesn't have a drinking problem. We didn't have any dinner that night. We were going to grab something after the show and didn't. So I'm sure between that and being pretty light, plus having drinks and shots contributed to her state. She doesn't get physical or has a history of it. She definitely has a hot temper though and allows her emotions to dictate her words and actions, which we've spoken about in the past. I brought up professional help and therapy in the past and she's told me that it wouldn't help her. In fact, she thinks it's a waste of time as she already knows her problems. She believes in working on herself and journaling, but doesn't do much of that at all. I've been speaking with her on the phone since posting and it's been very remorseful on her end, but I don't feel much of anything. It's really weird. I want to be able to speak to her how I usually do and just be ourselves again, but I can't. I love and care about her so much, but the behavior is something I can't really see past. I feel really effed up about it, but I don't feel like there's an alternative except to end things. I know if I heard the situation the other way around, I will tell that person to leave. If it happened to her, everyone would say the same thing. If it happened to her, everyone would tell her the same thing. That's a good perspective to look at it. If a guy were to be pinching you and like hitting your calf and all that, you would be like, why are you being with this person? And I think also the feeling that you're feeling, you're over it. You're over her. You can love someone but not want to be with them. You know what I mean? Like you have love for them and you have through all these experiences with her. I think you said like what, 3 years? That's a long time. But you realize like something died inside you that day and it was like the straw that broke the camel's back. Maybe the past things she's done to you and all of those things. You're like, I can't be with this person long term. Brings a little bit of trauma and you're scared to have a future with her. And if you have kids, which I 1,000% agree. Your kids will mimic what you do. You swear, you curse, you be physical, you be violent, you have anger. That's how your kids are going to act when they see that stuff. She sounds just like really immature. I mean, it sucks that she's going through those things, but temper is a very, very scary thing to have, regardless if it's like our girl who has it. So being around someone that you have to step on eggshells with is not someone who's ready for a long-term relationship. All right, guys, if you made it this far, it's time for the last story of today's episode, which is my favorite segment, and it's the Viewer's Corner, where you guys, the listeners, send me your stories that I read here on the podcast. Make sure you email it to me or post it on my subreddit page to be read live for you guys. Let's get into it. My best friend used my identity to get a job and got me blacklisted. I, 30 female, had a best friend for over 10 years. Let's call her Riley, 31 female. We met in college, lived together for a while after graduation, and even worked at the same company for a bit before she left to pursue better opportunities. She was loud, funny, scrappy, the kind of friend who could charm her way into anything. I always admired her hustle, even if she bent the rules a little. I work in tech. About a year ago, Riley told me she was trying to break into the field but didn't have the background for it. I offered to help. I sent her free resources, courses, and even edited her resume. She was constantly complaining about interviews not working out. Then, out of nowhere, she tells me she got a job at a major company, like the kind that doesn't just hire random people with zero experience. I was happy for her, but a little confused. When I asked how she got in, she said her cousin helped pull strings. I let it go. We celebrated. She started sending me photos from her office, talking about her team, and even name-dropping tools and software she claimed she was using, which was odd because some of it didn't match the tech stack at her supposed company. But here's where things just got weird. 3 months ago, I got a call from a recruiter who said my application looked promising, but that there was a concern with duplicate submissions. I hadn't applied to this company. I asked for more info. She said someone using my full name, resume layout, and even my GitHub link had applied weeks earlier. My blood ran cold. I checked the company's public staff directory. Yes, they had one. And guess who I find? Me. My name, my photo from LinkedIn. But the email wasn't mine. It was slightly off, like my name 123@gmail.com. It had Riley written all over it. I called her immediately. No answer. Texted. No response. I messaged her on Instagram and saw that my messages were marked as seen. Then I was blocked. I reported the identity theft. The company launched an internal investigation, and turns out Riley used my resume, tweaked a few details, and got hired under a fake identity. She had lied on her onboarding forms, used a VoIP number with a fake voicemail message in my name, and even did video calls with her camera off, claiming poor internet or camera issues every time. And she would have gotten away with it if she hadn't been caught copying code from Stack Overflow and passing it live during a client meeting. They fired her immediately. But guess what? I'm now flagged in their system for suspicious identity activity. My real name, my real portfolio, blacklisted from a company I never even applied to. I filed a police report, frozen my credit, changed everything I could, but I still feel like I'm walking around wearing someone else's mess. My professional name, the thing I worked years to build, is now attached to a scam. The worst part, I genuinely loved her like a sister. I trusted her, helped her, believed in her, and she used me as a stepping stone, only to leave a stain I'll be cleaning for who knows how long. Oh my God. What is it like? What all these like backstabbing friend stories that you guys are sending me? I feel really bad. I feel like there has to be a way for you to get this cleared up. Once I think they prove that it wasn't you that had any ties to it, I think legally you'll be okay. But about getting blacklisted from the company, that would require a lot more effort. Maybe even legal to like sue her for that. But I don't think a company's obligated to ever not blacklist you, right? Don't they say we have a right to refuse service or hire whoever they want? All right, you guys, that's it from today's episode. If you take anything from this, let it be this. Protect your digital footprint. Cautious with what you share, even with people you think you trust. Because unfortunately, sometimes the bigger threats don't come from strangers. They come from the people sitting next to us. If you've ever been in a situation where someone crossed the line, used your name, your work, or your kindness for their own gain, I'd love to hear your story. You can submit it anonymously at the link in the description. Thanks for sharing. Stay sharp, stay safe, and as always, with love, Lola. Bye. Until next time.